it's MK, and I am here with another Woodgrain and Winter layout for you guys today. And today I'm going to do a little bit of stampings with some close to my heart stamps that were available last year. This one was the Merriest Season stamp set, and it was one of those seasonal stamps campaign that they did. And then this was the Twinkle set that I thought was adorable, and I've already mounted the stamps that I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be stamping with Rustic Wilderness, Distress Oxide in peeled paint, and the distressed ink in peeled paint as well. I love mixing up my oxides and ink in the same color to get a good variation of the same green. I'm going to be using some general laser cut pieces from the Christmas Spectacular collection, as well as this acetate piece and this piece of packaging. For my photos, I picked out two photos of my husband and I just hanging out on the couch right before the kids start opening presents on Christmas Day. And then I pulled out two film strips, a green and a red, and then that little striped piece came from, I believe, the paper kit, the paper pack collection from 49 and Market's Christmas Spectacular. And then from Ella and Vive, I have this wood grain background that I'm going to use for my wood grain portion of my Woodgrain and Winter. So I have a lot of mixed Christmas papers to be using for this month. So on the off days that aren't Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday, it's going to be about Christmas, and then I'm going to try to do about winter on Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So I'm going to trim my photos down just a little bit before I get started on my stamping. And I'm actually not going to map my photos. I don't map my photos for a lot of these layouts, which is surprising for me because it's always been a must in my scrapbooking. Every single photo had to have a photo mat on it. And I'm slowly working my way through using clusters as my photo mat. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and painstakingly cut out this poinsettia cluster from the packaging to use it on the side of my layout. So I'm going to have it going and cascading down, and then I'm going to use my stamps to help me bring that cluster all the way down the right side of my wood grain. I'm going to start off with the Twinkle cluster. Again, this is just a little stamp set. It's an M size stamp set from Close to My Heart. I'm not sure if it's still available. I do know that if you guys are catalog people, I know people are tangible catalog people instead of shopping online. It's not in the catalog, but if you go online and see what is still available online, some of the older stuff is still available, but it's online only and not printed in the catalog. So I know Close to My Heart likes to do things like that. I'm going to have this stamp go all the way down, so that way I have a little bit of swirl and stars coming out from my little border. And then I picked out all of the pine needles in the collection, in the Merry something collection. Now I don't even remember what it's called. Merriest Season collection. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my darkest color, which is the Rustic Wilderness. And then I'm going to work my way into the peeled paints. And for my lightest peeled paint, I do a stamp off. So it's called a second generation. And I stamp it off on a scrap piece of paper and then bring it back. So that way I have three variations of this beautiful peeled paint color. Inking up this stamp. Now, I have not used this stamp set before. That's why it's still in its Close to My Heart packaging. Normally, I switch all of my stamps into an Avery L, but lately I have been reminding myself that this is brand new. I haven't used it yet by leaving it in its original manufacturer's packaging, and then once I use it, I switch it into the Avery L pockets. All right, so now that I am satisfied with my stamping and that it blends really well with this corner piece, I am going to go ahead and glue my corner piece down, and then my background is finally done so I can start working on my photos. This collection of Christmas stuff from 49 and Market has a lot of embellishments. So one of the things that I like to do is create a layout using just embellishments. This is why I did not map my photos or anything, because I plan on bringing everything in that I want to put on this layout, like for the clustering and whatnot. I definitely want to bring in only elements rather than paper, so that way I can stretch my paper for an entire month. If I was to have used up all the papers that I wanted to, it would be gone within the first week. Just because I am very paper heavy. I love using a lot of paper on my layout, but when I do that, it does not leave a lot of room for embellishments. These wood grain backgrounds make it absolutely perfect to build clusters with, and you're not really taking a lot away from the background because it's still this gorgeous wood piece of paper or wood printed paper in the background. So I went ahead and I went with some more of the pine needles and such, and I'm going to build a cluster over on the left side of my photo and a smaller cluster building into my stamped image over on the right. I didn't want to take away from what I've got going on the right, so I moved my photos over ever so slightly, but not quite in the middle of my layout, because I don't want the photos to overlap all of that stamping that I did, but the film strips allow that stamping to come through in the background. So my cluster that is going to be next to the photo is going to be very small, so the border that I just created can stick out and shine on the layout as well. It does kind of look a little like an arrow by the time that I'm done, because you've got that cluster on the side and then it points out onto the left of my layout. So I try to fix that using this frame of holly, and I'm cutting the frame down or the wreath I should say. I'm cutting it down just so that way I could use lots of it on my layout in multiple pieces instead of using the singular pieces that were included in this acetate sheet or acetate collection. So once I got everything all glued down, that is it for my layout. I did add a few of the little bow tie pieces that were in the laser cut collection. Added my title, which is just Christmas Wishes. And that's my layout for today, you guys. I had a blast just using embellishments for this particular layout. Like I said, the wood grain does all the work for me. And then, of course, I wanted my stamping to shine on the layout as well. All right, you guys. So for Woodgrain and Winter, don't forget to check out Galaxy Girl Creations to see her gorgeous layouts using wood grain and her winter photos, which I can't wait because she lives in California. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, too, we have a playlist down below, so you can go and check out all the other videos and everyone else that is playing along with Woodgrain and Winter. It is so fun. And yeah, I will check y'all later. Bye.